Hello, my name is Tyler Rickson, and I'm a CPA based out of Seattle, Washington. I run my own business, Cherry Hill Partners, where I serve other entrepreneurs by helping them with tax planning, holistic financial and accounting solutions, and really optimization of their business so that they can spend their time on their highest value activities. So, the big idea of today's video is sharing a bid template that I put together for one of my general contractor clients. Um, we found that this was really helpful as an early tool to utilize resourcefulness. And what I mean by that is that there are so many great softwares and not so great that will help you with estimating jobs, invoicing for jobs, bidding jobs, and everything in between. But I found that especially early on in your business, cash is at a serious premium. And whatever you can do to find the best place to put your cash to invest in your business, that's really going to help, especially in those first couple of years of business. And so sometimes I think it's better to build a solution rather than buy one, especially because it helps you understand what you really need out of a solution in the first place. And once you hit that point where, your solution isn't able to give the service that your customers require, or it's taking more time out of your day than need be, then is a good opportunity to go out and find a solution that could help with bidding or estimating or invoicing. But especially early on, I think this template can be really helpful for someone who wants to just create their own free version. So you can download this template in the description below. And feel free to update it, make it however you want. But I just put some helpful links up here as well, which we'll get into in a minute. But here you can just throw in basic information for your job. One thing to note, so your location of your services is important. So unlike the last video I did where I talked about how photography has its own unique quirks regarding allocation of taxes, construction has its own quirks as well. And so you can open up this Washington State construction tax matrix for more information, and it'll give you some guidance on, if you're the general or prime contractor, how it works, if you're the subcontractor, and how all these things kind of fit together. But the big idea, especially if you're a general contractor, the location of where you perform those services is where that sales tax should be apportioned to based on the rate. So yeah, you can also see here, if you were to say, yes, this job's for another contractor and you were the subcontractor, you might not be required to collect sales tax on that. But again, either talk to your accountant, talk to your CPA, or refer back to this construction tax matrix to get a better idea of what's going on there. This section is just really simple. You can put in your project components just to give you an idea of when things are going to start and stop. Again, as your business scales up, you might need a better solution to really map out your internal and external deadlines on projects. But early on, this can be really helpful. Once we get here into kind of the cost component, you'll see it's broken out by just 3 simple categories. Got your materials, labor, and other. This would not be a good thing to share with your client, I would say, just because this is an opportunity for you to be detailed and understand, okay, I could go to Dunn Lumber or Lowe's or somewhere else to buy this plywood. This is how much it's going to cost me. And then you could factor in your own markup percentage here based off whatever you deem appropriate. And that will give you a subtotal for each your materials, labor, and other. You have the opportunity in here to drop in a change order if you wanted, or put in any other costs. But the big idea of this section is just to help you kind of understand, what are the costs that go into this project? What's the desired markup I want to have for these costs? And so the end result really is your project bid subtotal. And that's what the number you use to determine the sales tax. It's really the contract price. So from here, you'll put in, your Washington State sales tax, which right now is 6.5%. And then you'll also drop in your local sales tax, which depends on the location of services. And you can utilize this link here to look it up. If you don't know what Woodinville's is, or you don't know what Seattle's is, you can drop in the address here and it will give it to you. So then you'll be able to have your total project cost, right? Or what that invoice should look like. Um, Again, this is super simplistic. I would say, if you're doing bids for customers, especially early on, having them be more simplistic is a great thing, and probably not breaking out your markup or all these things. I've found that honesty and simplicity can be really helpful because a confused buyer might not buy, right? And of course, some of your customers might ask for more detail, and you could totally do that. If you were to create another tab in here, you could make an edited version of what you want this to look like and then print it to PDF and use that. Or, if you use QuickBooks or another software like that, you could run your invoices through there. But again, this will at least help as an initial tool for kind of mapping out your bids. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. This doesn't get into things like resellers, permits, or how to go about that with sales tax on materials. If anyone's interested, I can make another video on that. But again, I just wanted to highlight the impact of resourcefulness, especially early on, and spending a little bit more time to craft your own solutions rather than go out and buy one that maybe is not the perfect fit for you. So, yeah, thanks for your time and hope you have a great day.